Welcome, friends. This is going to be your mission reading. It's going to be a pick a card, which means that we have 4 groups. And each of these groups have their own individual reading. And you can skip to your reading by clicking on a timestamp in the description box below or in the pinned comment. But let me first explain how this works. The topic is going to be how can mission support your union coming together? Because we are in a period now, but this video can be watched at any time, but right now in June 2024 we are in a period in which there is extra attention for mission. This is the spark of love in a specific individual way for your union that you will find there. It's like colored for your union. It's like individually for your union, what that is, something specific, how that feels, what that tastes like. And this love will start to exude towards outside your union, and that's what you're going to share. So that's your mission for other people, for the world. And yes, you can support yourself doing that. And yes, you can absolutely make that a form of work as well, you know? It is you giving the world what it needs through what is present in your union and extending it and sharing that. And you can make that your everyday work for the rest of your time. That's your mission. Knowing what your mission is, sometimes already before you're even in union or know who your twin flame is, but when you're on the journey, already aligning with mission, already starting to feel what mission is a support for coming in union. Did you know that? It's really unknown fact, but it's really helpful. You start to align with that deeper love that wants to spread your mission in your twin flame union. It really helps because it's a support pillar for your harmonious union. So aligning with that right now helps. And we are giving special attention for this topic leading up to an online workshop. So if you want to go deeper, then we can even go in this longer video, then I really advise you to come to this weekend workshop, first weekend of July in 2024, online workshop, 2 days long, 6 hours long, in which you can individually go deep with what that is for you, your twin flame mission. You are invited, and the link to the information and ticket sales is below in the description box and in the pinned comment. So in this reading, we are going to look at how can mission support your union together for you? How can it do that for you specifically? And try to find some clues for you, what that is like, how it can support your union coming together when you start to align with mission for you. And you can do that in 4 different categories. That's how individual we can get in this pick a card reading, right? And to know which of the 4 is going to be your reading today, you can do the quiz. Maybe you have filled out the quiz once before already, but you can do it again, thinking about this topic, right? The link to the quiz is below in the description box and in the pinned comment. You go there, you make your selection in these topics that I visually present for you in a couple of questions, and then what rolls out is your creative identity type for this reading. So that is what we're going to look at today, and what comes out will be your group for today. For today's reading, we are going to focus on the outcome that can be the opener, the builder, the acknowledger, or the coach. And these in itself are creation types, which says a lot already about your type of feeling for your mission that you can start to share. But today's question is, how can mission support your union coming together? For the opener, the builder, the acknowledger, and the coach. And when you know what came out of your quiz, you can go to your reading by clicking the timestamp. And if you don't want to do the quiz, then you can also wait a couple of seconds and there will appear here a visual that gives you an inclination, like, do you feel for this visual, the other one, or the other one, or the other one? And then you pick via that visual indication what speaks to you today for this question. And I will see you in your reading. All right, we're going to start with the opener. And I already had this card coming out of the Golden Tarot, and it really is such a beautiful thing, so I just want to show it to you. It seems to belong in your group, so there it goes, the Queen of Cups, which is really the feeling of being this abundant queen that shares the energy of love in concrete gestures on the earth. That is what mission is. So that was before we even started, because it came out before we started indeed as well. We are going to look into what, well, no, we're going to look into how mission can support your union coming together. And this was really like an image of, yeah, how rich that can feel. So let's see, I think we're going to do a little bit more for you in the Golden Tarot, because I selected a couple more oracle cards, and yeah, we're going to look what comes out for you. How can mission support your union coming together? And I think we're going to ask for 3 cards from this tarot deck. Let's do, how can mission support your union coming together? Yeah, let's do 3 cards. I don't know. Let's ask for 3 cards. 3 cards, please. Divine Mother, help us. 1, 2, splitting the deck, I just feel like doing it this way. Once more, 3. So you have the 7 of Swords, which means, well, this soldier is taking some swords away that were waiting outside the camp of the other party that they were battling with, the other party's camp. And they were standing there, and he just takes away a couple of swords. So it has a sense of stealing, but also of, that's a negative interpretation, but it is also being strategic. I mean, if you don't want to fight for things, because that is all, I mean, why would you fight for a mission? That's not, you know, what you should do. You should sink deeper into who you are, and then you will see what mission is, what your mission is. And you can be strategic about that. So that might be the invitation to be strategic. And the 2 of Coins, which is traditionally the 2 of Pentacles, which is, well, this is some sort of an artist that is playing with these pentacles or coins in an ever-flowing movement that is like, it can go up or down, but there is an ever-going movement here. And then we have, as a 3rd card, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So the Ace of Coins, or Pentacles, is, well, this is an angel that is holding the coin, almost guarding the coin, right? In some sort of a nature place, in your garden. This is what it could be. This is the whole potential of mission for you, presented by the divine itself in the form of his messenger, the angel. So let me see what this means together. How can mission support your union coming together? Yeah, it feels like you can count on that there is something very valuable in the center of your union. Did you know that when I came into harmonious twin flame union and I developed myself further inside of that, I started to feel that there was a present, like a big, almost like a treasure chest inside of my union energetically. And it started to open, and I could really feel that. And in moments such as late at night or in the middle of the night when I woke up, I could feel at certain moments this treasure chest opening up and starting to present its energy and its wealth and its riches and its abundance to me. And starting to show me that it just opens and that it starts to do its work and share. And that was the feeling of mission. And that is the feeling that I get from the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Coins. It's like God sending his angel reaching out to you with his treasure chest, with this huge, in other words, this huge coin, and present it to you like, well, here it is. Didn't you know how valuable you already are? And if you start to connect with your true value already where you're now, you start to get on this train almost, going to where this true treasure chest is buried in your union, where you can find it in your harmonious union consciousness state. But already start to open yourself for the idea that you are incredibly valuable. A huge treasure is buried in your energy field, in the source of it. And you can find it. And there will always be experiences that go up and down in the outside world, in the experiences, in the managing your life and your daily life and your relationships and whatnot. And these are often experiences that are called in to sort out what it really is for you. And then you can always choose to not focus on the up and down experiences, but in what it creates, on what it creates, on this deeper promise of the true treasure chest. And you accept that there is a little bit of an outer wave on the outer part of life, up and down, sure, but you don't focus on it. You focus on the true value that you have, that mission has in your union, that your union has. And you also accept that you don't need to fight for your mission, for the sharing of that love, of that true treasure chest. But you start to understand that it's already here. But when you align so much with that treasure chest of the divine, that the divine placed inside of your union, you can actually start to work with it. So you don't need to fight for it to have it, and you don't need to fight for it to keep it. But you can be realistic and see that there are so many people that can use this divine love that you can share. And in that sense, you can quote unquote conquer the world, but it will just go much more softly and automatic with the outflow of your love. But you know that there will be a lot of resistance against your sharing of that core love that comes from the divine itself. That is in the vortex field that is opened up with a depth of source between you and your twin flame when you're in harmonious twin flame union. And you start to understand that there will be a lot of resistance to it, because that's just how the world works. The world operates on the ego still, and that's just a little bit of a fact until it's all transformed, right? And you start to understand that you're not going to literally fight for it, but you can strategize, together with the divine as a partner, hand in hand, strategize about how to share, what to share, when, in what form to share, if it's good to share now or to wait until later, when it's good to not share because you are transforming now and this is your healing time, so that you can do your mission later on when it is your time, so that you're not so vulnerable as well in the world. You just stand for what you stand, and that's just it. And you're pretty much healed, so that feels different then. So that you're allowed to strategize with that. And when you sink deeper into this co-creation that you have with the divine in your union, to find and be this incredibly valuable mission, and start sharing it. Well, not even start sharing it, that you're allowed to strategize about how to share it, when to share it. And that there comes a form of strategizing together with the divine that comes with it. And you're allowed to sink into that wisdom. You're allowed to, let that wisdom bubble up in you and savor it and receive it and meditate on it. And then, see what that says and then listen to it. Because that's how you will best share it. And it is also a strategy in a sense to start to become sensitive for mission already right now, where you're now in your journey, before you might be in harmonious twin flame union, the consciousness state, before you start to really build that life with your true twin flame, to already attune to what mission is right now, where you're now, is also a strategy to get into union. And that helps. That helps. And you're allowed to have that strategy, right? Yeah. You, opener, are allowed to have that strategy. Because again, you know that there will always be ups and downs. But if you accept that and beneath that start to focus on that there is something deeper that tries to reach you, an underlying, feeling of pure divine love, as pure giving that wants to share itself. And to already do that right now, that is a strategy. And it's good to do that. You're like allowed to do that, right? So the dragons want to say something. I feel that they're really dragon fae. They are the energies of the dragons on the earth. Just very kundalini attuned energy. And energy beings belonging to that realm. And they just can't wait to tell you something is what I'm feeling. So, I was like, I have it, this is it, I'm seeing this, and 2 came out. So let's see what we get. Pellinor and the woman. Bittersweet goodbye. This can indicate that there is a goodbye that you have to say, potentially right now, with your true twin flame, to make it even better work when you come back together. And these moments can happen. And I would advise not to fall for a whole dramatic idea that unravels in all these stories of, we're in separation, and a this and a that and the other. You can consciously do this because sometimes you know that there will be a huge leap that needs to be made, a consciousness leap, a big step. And you can do it. And when you do it, they will too, because at the core you're one. And when you heal, they heal too. But sometimes it can mean that during this big, big, big leap, you will have this feeling of, oh, it's just as if I say goodbye to them completely. And it is bittersweet, because you know you have to heal something so profound in you to come together again when that leap, that step has been made, and as another person, almost as a healed person, in this crucial aspect that you're now faced with. And it can be deeply bittersweet, because you're actually saying goodbye to an aspect of yourself that is no longer valid when you want to be with your true twin flame and make that step to make that more possible, that next step that is asking you to come together more closely. You're actually saying goodbye to this aspect of yourself that is no longer working for you here. But it has worked for you so long. You may have been growing up with doing this particular thing, and it doesn't work anymore because it's actually hurtful, and you never really fully realized that. You just learned to do that out of survival mechanisms taught into your early childhood, where you hardly have any memories from it. And now it's not necessary anymore, and you feel the pain of it now. Now it falls away. That's a possibility. And in such a step, coming closer to your twin flame, in your twin flame union, that can often be the case, that we find such remnants in ourselves. It's very sad to, like grief, to say goodbye to that. And the other card is Pendragon, the divine masculine energy, pure divine masculine energy. This powerful green male energy. And most people that watch my videos are divine feminine or females. Well, it doesn't really matter, you know. It's really not for women, my channel or my coaching. It's for people that want to go deeper. But of course, I also know that I'm a woman and that most are women that watch. That's must not be a big surprise, but it's not about that. And that is not what I pass on. I pass on union. Good to know, just as a side note perhaps, but there you go. People on the twin flame journey have a way of talking about it that you hear a lot. Well, you might question if there even are on the twin flame journey. Maybe they are not, because what you hear a lot is that people really talk down on the divine masculine and how lowly of a being he must be because he doesn't get it yet or something, or he's not with me yet, so he must not get it yet. But maybe it's you that doesn't get it yet, because that's why he doesn't come to you yet, because there's something huge that you can heal in yourself when you are the divine feminine, right? So he's actually intelligent, right, to stay away for now. So you might argue that people that don't understand how stupid it is to say such a thing, they're not even on the real journey, because they are tearing down what they claim is part of their union, and they're tearing themselves down at the core of it. That never works. How can mission support your union coming together? So these kinds of movements we also make in developing our mission. We need to make steps in which we need to say bittersweet goodbyes. And we need to honor our divine masculine also in mission. We can't run forward as divine feminines and claim that we do all the mission ourselves. Because don't get me wrong. I can do nothing here. And I'm very successful at this point after approximately 6 years of integrating the twin flame aspects fully into my already existing spiritual teacher practice. Everyone that comes closer to me in one-on-one coaching and invests in our relationship comes into connection with what Divine Mother gives them, can give them through me, and will receive it. And it is harmonious twin flame union. And it is proven to be coming to you every time. But I can't do that without him, even though you only see me here. I don't do it without him, because when I was still without him, without the harmonious twin flame union, without the full clarity, in full confusion, although he was the whole already for decades, very close, etc. But I was in confusion and I was not in the right consciousness. But since I am, I can pass it on and also manifest your true twin flame for you, with you. We do it 100% together. Even though you only see me, seemingly, it's an illusion. That's what it is. It's an illusion. Let's get a card for you from the, what are they called? Life Purpose cards. Teaching. So maybe for you as well, your mission may have something to do with teaching. And the first teaching you do is always making sure that you embody what you would like to teach. That's also what I meant with how I did it, with integrating the twin flame element into my already existing coaching practice that was spiritual of nature. I first needed to make it come true for myself fully. And because you teach with what you are, and that's a journey to get there, and you can start now to also grow into a teacher for your twin flame also in the first place, because you are each other's student and teacher. Yeah. Maybe that's your first mission. Your first part of mission is the fact that you are that teacher for them, to show them whatever you can embody for them in full love, so that they see that and learn from you the full lesson that they could learn from you, that they lovingly wanted you to teach them. And vice versa. Can you hear the true teaching that your twin flame is trying to teach you all the time already? Can you hear it? Can you take it in? That's the mission that they have for you. And that is how you, in the first place, become more of what you can be to incorporate more of the mission that you are. And that is the process through which you later on automatically, and that comes in a further developed stadium, automatically start to exude the fruits of that process, for other people as well. It's actually something that just flows out of it automatically when you have mutually learned the lessons from each other that is here for each other. I hope that makes sense to you. In the near future, from the angel cards for the opener, how can mission support your union coming together? Well, if you start to align with your true mission, your journey will quicken. It will quicken. And because I just said that it includes learning your actual lesson that your twin flame is standing there wanting to teach you, if you finally learn it and embody more of who you are, and therefore also more of what your mission is, as a preparatory stage before you start to exude it into the world, where other people will also get a glimpse of what you're teaching as a union together, that means that will quicken the whole journey. And that's why this topic is so important, even though it's not well known. Communicate clearly. That's always a good one. And even the twin flame tool that I teach, which is the key tool, there are videos about it and blogs, and I teach most about it in our Facebook group. You're welcome to come there as well. The key exercise or tool that Divine Mother gave me is a way to communicate to yourself what's going on, what the lesson is. Because it means that you need to state explicitly what's going on and then start to process it in a fresh way that you never realized was how you needed to process it. Following the 4 questions, we have 2 versions of it. That is a way of communicating clearly to yourself and learning yourself, which then is a way in which you are communicating clearly with the universe and with them, with your true twin flame, because at the core, you're one. And this is how you can help your union. You do the key exercise. That's always the answer. And let's see if we get another abundance card. Angels of Abundance, Windfall of Abundance. So that's how we create a windfall of abundance. An increase in abundance is arriving in many different forms. Some of them unexpected. Be open to receiving. I know that this abundance comes to you to support your life purpose, health, and charitable work. It's funny. It's like almost summer now here, but this is Father Christmas. Very funny. Okay. And what kind of inner quality might that bring? Maybe this card deck of the Divine Abundance might give us a suggestion. Intuition. Seeing with the heart. Each person's road to the inner Lord is extraordinary and personal. How liberating to listen inside and sense moment to moment what's needed. So how can mission support your union coming together? by listening to your intuition. You actually already know the answer, and it's a matter of listening to it so that you can truly live it. That will give you the next step, so that you can have the courage to take it fully, so that anything that seems bittersweet will be just part of a strategy. And you don't focus on the ups and downs of that, but you focus on the true abundance that it is about, that is in the treasure chest of your union. That will open up, and when you start to share that, that's mission. Moving towards that is helpful already right now. So I hope this reading helped you. Don't forget to look into the mission workshop on July coming up, and have a look in the link that tells you all about it, and buy your ticket already right now. That would be awesome. Then I can see you. And I hope to see you also in the next video. Much love from Petra. Oh yeah, and if you've watched until the end of Opener, I would like you to post a reaction so that I know that you have listened to the end. Let's give me a yellow heart. What about that as the reaction underneath this video? Lovely. See you soon. Love from Petra. All right, Builder, welcome in your reading. We are going to look with the help of a couple of Oracle card decks. We're going to look into what is for you the way that mission can support your union coming together. Let's see what kind of hints and suggestions and wisdom we get for you here. And I want to start with 3 cards of the Golden Tarot. And I already see this card, so it's going to go fast here. Let's just, what Divine Mother points me out is a card fit to get for you to learn more about how this works for you. How can mission support union for you? Because we can already tune into what that is for you now, no matter where you are on the journey. And also when you think you've already arrived, you know, it's still good to start to tune into mission. Because we might still need to really excavate that topic for us. Even though when we're in harmonious twin flame union, it doesn't matter. It's always very topical. But yes, it is also very helpful to give yourself an extra boost to move forward in the twin flame journey. And how is that possible for you? How is that for you? So we have for you the 4 of Wands in reverse. So normally that would be a celebration or even a marriage. Underneath this guirlande, and the people of the village that is at the back, they're coming together. They're coming together. They're underneath the maypole, so to speak, and start the party. But there is no party here because it's reversed. So maybe it just says like, okay, we're not yet in union here, or we're not yet knowing exactly what our mission is and executing it already as a business. No. But the potential is here, right? And the other card is, the second card that you got is Temperance, which is this angelic figure standing with 1 foot in water and 1 foot on the earth, usually. But this one stands with both foot in the water, okay? But it's a she, right? This one, I think so. She is having 2 cups in her hands and pouring it up and down as if she is doing an alchemical solution, making an alchemical drink or something that will heal you into your union. And there is someone from heaven coming down and blessing her as well. We have ducks and lilies. I think they're called lisse, potentially, but that's a Dutch word. Anyway, and we have the Fool in reverse. Now, normally the Fool stands for you're at the beginning of a new chapter and you're going to go in, even though you don't really know yet what it's going to need from you, and etc. But that doesn't matter because you're just optimistic about it and the whole journey will fall into place for you eventually, right? And that is in reverse for you. So what would that mean? So it does look like your mission is not really clear yet. Your union is not really clear yet. It's not really at the celebration yet. You might have made a mistake here or there, maybe because you have a false mission and or a false twin flame, even though you might not recognize that or realize that. That is in the mission department off to an enough degree that it's not fully the energetic signature yet that it needs to be supportive to your union, because it is inside your union, because that is the energy that is inside of your union. It's not a fantasy that we plump over it from outside, like, oh, now I know who my true twin flame is. Oh, we're in harmonious union now. That's great. But I still, from the outside, put like the doghouse. I don't know why I come with the idea of the doghouse, but there we go. A doghouse over it. That's my mission. But that's not how the movement is. The movement is from the inside out. The mission starts to grow and flow, as if it's a fountain coming from the well deep inside of your union, right? And then it also starts to do that movement automatically, and you don't need to do all kinds of, oh, that's difficult, the doghouse needs to come over it. Oh, that's difficult, we need to have another element as well. Oh, and this is going to take so much work, and this is going to take so much time and so much money, and it's going to be so hard. But that's not how mission is supposed to start. It's supposed to start as, this is what comes out when I truly connect and develop my further relationship with my true twin flame inside this union space. And this is what comes out, and this is what comes forward, and this is what starts to flow. And then it just starts to flow, and you give shape to it more and more. And when you can already sense that before you're in harmonious union, before you're in union, right now, wherever you are on the journey, then that helps greatly when you can already tune into that layer. But yeah, sometimes we still always need to tune into that layer, whether we think we've already arrived or not. I think I already started this whole reading for you with saying that, right? So I guess that's like a good message for you, that no matter what you think it is good to make a refreshing start, like a fresh start for yourself. And so that the alchemy of the Temperance card can be a true healing card. Truly heal yourself into it. It comes from healing. And not healing in a psychological level only, like, yeah, I know that I was not treated entirely well as a child, as a small child, and I can see that now, and I can treat myself different now. That's beautiful, but that's only on the psychological level, and maybe it has not so much more yet than only that you understand it and that you recognize it. But is it healed yet? And has that psychological healing in itself then also integrated in the spiritual ground of you? And that is actually the spiritual healing, which is the fundamental healing, which is the life healing, because that's what spiritual means. It means this, the foundational The foundational layer of life, that's what spiritual is. Yeah. Is it there already? Maybe not. And it's okay. It's okay to understand that there is an even deeper layer of healing. It's okay to recognize that it's not really fully there yet. It's okay to recognize, okay, I need to surrender here everything that I thought I was to the divine, to really get a grasp on what this is, what all of this is for me. Because every time I think I have something and I think I know something, it is actually not that. Because it's my ego that stands up all the time and thinks it knows something. But when I surrender, then I start to get this alchemy, this true healing that starts to come into being. Yeah, maybe I need to go through a little bit of a valley in my life, a little bit of time to lay down and heal into whatever this means for me that I don't understand yet. And that can be very helpful. And that can be the quickening that you need. And it can look to the ego personality as though you are like wasting your time, or you're like, why am I so slow? I need to organize something for myself to make it quicker. But that is not necessarily so. You surrender to the divine order and the divine healing, and that knows what it's doing with you. That is your high road, and the quick road, even though it looks like you are going to slow down. And life goes on for all these people around you. And they will get more money and more lovers. And you are just only surrendering. And it seems like your entire life is just crumbling. And that's not true. That is might very well be your road to quickening. This is funny because your category is the builder. So for the builder to quicken, it might need to crumble down and refresh to the reset level. And only then building can be done on the true foundation of life, which is spiritual. And it is kind of normal that we are not really yet in full connection with that. And that is the whole point of why I'm here. That is why you have a teacher. And I also had a teacher. So don't be mistaken. And I also had to lie down. And I also had to have everything crumble. But here comes something from the life purpose card. So let's see. There are always choices for you that are opening up. There's always a door opening up. And you can look at what that one is, even though it seems like nothing is working anymore. But there's always a door, and that might just be your quickest road. Even when the door leads to the bedroom in the sense of the sick bed, for instance, then that is this one was moving, your quickest road. We had the Dragon Fae cards. They really want to talk, I felt, for this topic. Very interesting. They are the energies of the dragons. This is really like the Kundalini energy of the earth connected to it. This is the Pendragon, the divine masculine, in its purity as Dragon Fae. And he is there as this powerful green man. Maybe it's him, your true twin flame, that is even like inspiring you to lay down and heal. Because he can perhaps be the one that reflects to you what you need to heal. And that is how it always works. Whether you're going deeper to learn more about your mission or going deeper to learn more about your true union and erecting it and whatnot, they are mirroring to you what's going on because they love you so much that they want to show you what's going on inside of you. So every complaint about them, that they're not showing up yet and they're this and they're that, can be taken as an invitation to learn more about what's going on inside of you. And there's 100% something to learn for you there, because otherwise they would never show that to you. They would never give you that lesson. They would never mimic that to you. And that's their whole function. It is because you have asked to get to know more about what true love is and what relating really is and what divine love is. That's what your desire was. That's why they show this to you. Because of your desire to learn how to love on the divine level. It's for you, it's not against you. And I talk a little bit to the divine feminine now, about the divine masculine, because I know that most are women that watch my channel. Although my work is not for women, it's for people that want to go to union, because I pass on that central core union vibration. That's what I'm here to pass on. But even though you might be a divine masculine, you're equally as welcome. Absolutely 1000%. And it is exactly the same the other way around. They will show you what is going on inside of you. And that is because it's your heart's desire to learn that in this lifetime, right here, right now, in this context. To learn what is standing between you and your highest version of love. Ultimate version. It's not just any highest version, but yeah. And you know, the mission feeling will surface when you've learned that. Talking to the divine masculine and the divine feminine now, as always actually. The mission will surface when you've found it, when you've healed that, when you've gone through that alchemization, when you've learned a lesson that they are mirroring you. Because the mission is already baked into that. You know, the success of your mission depends on, did you really find and learn and complete these lessons in love? And these become then transformed inside of you, an energy vibration that is harmonized, and that is what you start to share automatically to the world in all directions. And that is what mission is. That's how you find what it is. That's how you energize it so that it will manifest itself. Yeah. Making the true connection with that deeper love brings you already in connection with the true mission right now on your journey, so that it can speed your journey towards harmonious twin flame union, the consciousness state, forward. And that's also why you go to a teacher, because they can bring you into the connection with that divine love. And that's why you keep on going to the teacher, because you can always, together with them, move through these valleys of the development. Together feel out what the mirroring is of the true twin flame. Together stand in the light of the divine that the teacher operates from. Very helpful. Angel answers. Don't stop. Right. When it seems like the ground is falling beneath you. Don't stop. When it seems like you have something with your mission and it's not working. Don't stop when it seems like you made these steps, but it feels like these were strange steps. It was a little bit weird. It was not really in alignment, perhaps. Don't stop. Keep on going. Don't worry. Now you know that this is not it. And that is the helpful step that you have done now. Having made a misstep is the helpful step that you have made. And you will always move to the consciousness state where twin flames are. Celebrated in divine light, where missteps don't exist anymore. That's where you're going. They will all be seen in the light of progress. And you will be always grateful. Truly and spontaneously, not as something that I tell you. So you have to or something. No. Okay, so let's see what kind of quality besides being grateful might be present there. Receiving from the divine abundance deck. Every day it becomes easier to receive the highest divine plan and to trust my inner guidance. Right, this is really the solution for this whole situation. You can start to receive with the deepest receptor place inside of you. That is the solution here. And let's see if the angels of abundance have something very concrete to add here, perhaps. Potentially. Something very concrete. Please, Divine Mother, help me select a card. Yeah, I see this one. So there we go. Do the work. It's not enough to dream or pray. You've also got to take the positive action steps that you are being divinely guided to take. Consistently working on your priorities will make them flourish like a lush flower garden. I like that guitar playing angel a lot. Yeah, do the work. Also the inner work, the healing work. Do the healing work. The temperance, the alchemy. It needs to be executed. You can't step over these lessons because they form the journey. They are the treasure chest inside of your union that opens up when you've learned the lesson, and then the love comes out that is the true divine love, and you start to share that automatically. That's the mission. We all invest in these things. We all take time for these things. We all go to a community for these things. We all share openly for these things, our vulnerable stuff with all the other people in our community. We all have a teacher for this. We all listen to the teacher for this. We all learn a certain healing language, which is what you could call what I stand for, my work, my e-courses, my theory, and my books, my healing tool key, and information that you can download in our Facebook group around key and other helpful gestures. Facebook group link is in the description below and in the pinned comment too, etc. All these things that I stand for, that I bring forward, for healing, for doing the work. Study it. Everyone studies that. Everyone goes into coaching, into one-on-one relationship to do the work. And yeah, that sort of never stops. Because it is just a beautiful thing that you desire. And it is the bridge towards that true, pure, divine twin flame love that you desire. And that makes come true all your heart's desires. Amen. So I hope this helped for you. And if you watched this builder reading to the end, give me please a red heart as a reaction in the description comment field below, so that I know that you've watched until here and that you are the builder for this mission reading. I love that for you, and I really would love to know if it was you that watched until here. Don't forget that we have a mission workshop coming up in this first weekend of July. It's online and you can take part. The description box and the pinned comment both hold a link to learn more about this mission, Twin Flame Mission Workshop. Don't miss it, and look into the link and buy your ticket. I will see you there, and I will also see you in the next video. That would be awesome too. I will see you there. Love from Petra. Dear Acknowledger, we're going to look into your reading about the question, how can mission support your union coming together? And I selected a couple of oracle card decks and we're going to look into each of them to see what it will be for you. And the first is going to be the Golden Tarot. And while I started shuffling, it was already pre-shuffled, but one flew out on the floor, so I'm going to pick it up. And I guess that's going to be the first one for you. I'm holding it like this, so I guess it's like this. The Ace of Coins, the Ace of Pentacles in the traditional tarot, which normally would be the start of some sort of a fresh start of the abundance of the earth, the pentacles, the money, the energy. I want to have two more of these because I think that Divine Mother is showing me something with these cards that we can talk about your mission. Because how do you feel about your mission? Do you feel like you've already got it, you've already know what it is, or are you wanting to go deeper in your heart to get the energetic vibration of it so that you can start to feel if that really is the core of your union, and then to see how that wants to develop itself further? That is maybe a little bit the energy of this first card of the Eight of Coins or Pentacles in reverse, that you would like to know what that starting energy is of the coins, of the abundance, of the sharing, of the core energy of being active in the world. But you're not having it right side up, but reversed. So it's like I would be wondering, you would be wondering, what is that mission, where it comes from inside of you. Yeah, let's see. And this is the Eight of Wands. So this is a large movement of these 8 fiery, passionate wands moving through the air on their way to the ground, to hit the ground as if they're thrown by someone and then hit the ground. And or thrown by God. What about that? With this bird as well, messenger of God. So that would mean that it's going to go pretty quickly, because these are quickly moving to hit the floor. So maybe you will quickly learn more about it when you set your intention correctly. But this is then the Nine of Cups in reverse. And normally that stands for wish fulfillment. And now it stands for, in a reversed position, well, wish not fulfilled. Which, by the way, happens a lot with mission, because it may just not be what you think it is, what your ego personality, that is, thinks it is. It may not be that. It may be slightly related or not at all related. But it is really something real that is present in your union, in that blueprint that you are and have with your true twin flame. It is not a fantasy. It's not something that you can put on it because you think that's a good idea, or this is the trend in society, or it's like your ego personality thinks it's a good idea, right? No, that's not what it is. It's really organic. It's baked into your union. It's not something that you pick in a way, not with your ego personality, that is. It is something that is already there. And you reveal it to yourself what it is, right? And when you start to open yourself up to that truth and to what it really is, already right now, wherever you are on the journey, that is a pillar of support for making your union come true. Because it is located eventually in the core of your union space. That's where it is. I'm just looking at your 3 cards again. So it may also say, don't be in a hurry to know what it is. Let it bubble up automatically, because when you're too much in a hurry, you won't get your wish fulfillment. Yes, it will make everything come true, what you've ever longed for in your heart, genuinely, but that's not coming from your ego personality. It's what your soul longs for you to make come true. Because the soul is what you are. You're actually the invisible core essence of what you are. That's what you are. And it may be that you will see that a lot of things that your ego personality thought it was going to make come true is averted by it, is not coming true by it. And that may for a while in a certain time frame for you may stand out. Like, I don't know what this is. I thought this was a journey towards everything that my heart desired. But everything is just not being made come true that I wanted. Well, maybe the you that wanted it was not the correct you yet. It's not the authentic truth of the you that is the invisible you where your twin flame union resides, in essence. So you may again want to go on a journey, inner journey, which is always the journey. The journey is always the inner journey, to find more about it, so that you will hit goal. Because the goal that you're now going to hit is already true inside of you. And you are just in a movement of revealing what it is. Revealing that, oh, here's this deeper heart vibration. That is the core of it. And I get to new qualities that belong to it every time I move through the 4 steps of the key tool for twin flame inner work. Going from an emotion, turn it around into a feeling that gets into a soul creative quality that is already yours, that you can acknowledge. The acknowledger, that's you, that's your group. Acknowledge what it is, that you already have that and are that. That soul creative quality. And that's how it starts. So start to do the key tool for twin flame inner work, and you may want to learn more about that, and a very great place to do that is in our Facebook group, and the link is in the description below and in the pinned comment. We have events there and posts and videos and downloads from the file section, among others, about it. Because in version 1 you do take your emotions about the situation that you're in right now. Just be honest about the situation, formulate what it is, and feel the emotions. Go through the 4 steps of key version 1 and see that it turns itself around into that subtle feeling that is below it. And then state that you already are that and have that. And that is, yeah, like that foundational vibration, but in a certain quality that you embody. And that's more what the place where this mission starts to grow and come out, right? That's more the place where you find that. Not perhaps in the society as it is now, and then be disappointed about that it won't pick it up, what you are doing. Because I did that, you know. All the things that may sound like lessons to you and it might be a little bit disappointing, I have done all these things. So don't get me wrong, you know, I did these things. I went to society and was like, let me build my mission here. Let me build it. I thought I already knew it. I was doing it from my ego personality. I was building it on top of people and institutions and events that did not understand it at all. And a lot of the time were not liking it as well. But I know that I was on a journey, and I on the longer term was, and I essentially was already on a journey to make come true my deeper self. And that is, you know, that is the true thing that everybody eventually longs for. And people could only have, you know, followed me and gotten it also, but almost nobody did. So there you go. And yeah. So I had to let that go, that sort of wanting to be someone in the world, wanting to be someone in society, wanting to be someone for certain established groups of people that are organized in society. because my mission, my true message, reached far beyond anything of that nature. And it was unwelcome for the people living in that grid, that matrix, that way of thinking, because it made their societal category actually undone. But I thought that was a revolutionary, super innovative way of standing in society to lead people beyond it, get where they truly get their abundance, which is in the soul, on the twin flame union level or the ascended level, or however you want to call it, and then start to live that in the manifested world. And I thought that was an awesome societal message. But nobody understood it and nobody wanted it. And that was approximately the experience, not entirely, but that was roughly what I experienced. And that made me let go of that idea to get a sort of a quick rich scheme almost, to get this beautiful teaching across to places where it was unwelcome. So I was pretty courageous, I have to say. But at the end of the day, I kept on being genuinely curious what was the true underlying ace of coins, and then I started to more and more see that I had to sink into the truth of what it already was, without going out and bringing it to the people over there, but to go in and deep where I was already standing. And then the whole game started to turn around, and it was just me going deeper, me transforming into the teacher, and that would attract people by itself, whether they came through societal ways or not. That didn't matter anymore. And it came out that the message of step beyond the societal structures to make come true your true heart's desires belong to your soul, the invisible core that you truly are and eternally are, together with your twin flame. That message was not dependent on anything in society. And for the ones that would take the message on, they were just attracted by me, by it. And they would all for themselves see that their whole world, their own society, would be transformed from the inside out into their ultimate life. That still operates in society, but is also sort of, it's itself. It's just itself. And that is the joy of it. That is the joy of it. And that is how it fits with your true twin flame union, because that is also really, utterly and completely only itself. There's no twin flame union like yours, and your twin flame union is only that one, the one. There's no second one of it or alternative one of it, or that doesn't exist. And coming into your union eventually indeed also means then coming into this consciousness of this one union consciousness and seeing only this one, so that eventually you also don't see anymore a society over there and us here, or the one, the union here. It's just union, union, union that is ever expanding itself. That's what you will come to live. Genuinely, that is what you start to live. That is when it will become true for you, when you start to live that genuinely. Now we have the Dragon Fae, because they really want to come forward. And they are the Kundalini energies of the earth personified. Dragon Fae, invisible dragon energies. Hideki's door. Knock on the door, a knock on the door. Right. Do you let it in? Do you let this energy in that is waiting for you from the inside out to enter you? That's what mission is. It starts with that love that comes from the divine inside of you. It knocks on your door of your physical life and says, can I come into your physical life? Can I come into your daily life? Can I come into your real life? Please, can I? That's what mission is. That's also what the twin flame is. It's like it's a moth, a butterfly or moth, but it's actually this green dragon. It is like a moth dragon on the door knock, right? A red dragon door knock. Nice. Very earthy. It's really, this energy is like, can I come in to your physical life? Door knock to your physical earthly life. Amazing. So are you receiving it? That's really the question here. And I felt like this one was coming out as well. So we're also going to look at what this dragon fae is. Bridget. We are one. Well, there you go. What were we talking about? This is the dragon fae that fits that. We are one. Beyond the seeming dichotomy, beyond the seeming division of there's the world, here's me. You are already one. You are already in union. You are already with the twin flame. You are already with mission, with that central energy that is divine love. But do you let that reality in? That's the question. So how can mission support your union coming together? By letting in that union consciousness now, and let it touch you in a way that is strange to you. It's like new. It's like, I never understood this, and I still don't, but I feel touched in my heart, and it has a working on me. And that's where you start to morph into morphing into the direction of who you are in mission. So also who you are in union, because that's the same. And I was shuffling now the life purpose cards. So let's see. Body work. Your life goal embraces body work. Massage, energy healing, physical therapy, training. Those are examples of what is meant. I think energy body is in the most true, perhaps. And then the physical body is part of that too. Do you let it into your physical world? Do you let it into your energy world? The real world? It comes from the inside out. You don't need to build it on the outside. It's built from the inside out. And then, who knows, there are also steps in the real world. And you can support yourself with beautiful structures and whatnot, but it really truly starts inside and nowhere else. And there's a lot to uncover in that. There's a whole world that wants to present itself to you. So are you opening the door? Are you opening the door? Or do you let it be closed? Do you hold it closed? Because you want to feel safe to your own soul's detriment. do you wanna still, do you wanna be touched in your feeling life, in your relational life? Or do you close these feeling areas off? And you only want to be touched in your brain and understanding. But how will it be truly loving then? And how will it be truly bringing you to union? How will it be truly touching other people? You need to open the door. And we all come from childhoods and places, where the feeling space was really like, yeah, but that's not where you're going to go. That's like not the place to be. That is forbidden. That is vulnerable. That is off limits. You can't open that one. Just be logical. But then you never open up to the space where you want to make it come true. You never open up to the space where it can come true. Where it's the first place where it will come true. Where it comes true because you feel it. Because it feels good. Yeah. And we don't even need to start with the world and other people that have brainwashed us into that terminology. Yeah, terminology, but also like reality. We can start with our inner voice that tells us this and revolutionize that one and open ourselves for ourselves and get some training of what that means with the divine, between you and the divine. That's where it starts. That's your like training relationship between you and the divine. So let's first have a mission between you and the divine. What is that mission? Let's first try things out there. And then you will see if you open up for the rest of the world, or you just open up and then you just see what the rest of the world does and what wants to come to you for that specific energy you are exuding. They will come to you. Yeah. It's the integrity of mission. And this is the angel answers. It's up to you to open yourself for yourself, to open to the divine, and to have that as a training partner. And have that be enough. That is a basis for the training for union and the basis for training for mission. If you want to train anything, train that. Train there. Train that relationship. And let the rest go until it starts to click in and flow and building starts to knock on your door as an organic development that you're really there. All right, I see this one within the next few weeks. See, when you do that like this, things can start to move within weeks. Things won't need to take so long. I like this landscape. It is very lively, very much alive with people and angels and children and a couple and buildings and the horizon. A whole life. A whole life. And what kind of quality? Let's ask the Divine Abundance cards. What kind of qualities or quality we have here worth. That is worthy. That is valuable. You have been worthy to belong to love all along, without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. Well, and isn't that speaking for itself right here? God, I love it. With this tiger, so powerful. And let's see if we can get something very concrete from this Angels of Abundance card deck to clarify even further. Clearing debts. Right, that is perhaps the name of the healing in another way. Your self-care involves removing the heavy burden of financial and emotional debts from your life. You already feel lighter and freer just by facing this topic and making a plan to clear present obligations and avoid future ones as well. It's like a sort of a Pegasus, the horse on the rainbow. Sort of Pegasus fantasy. Clearing debts. Yeah, it's like removing the financial and emotional burdens of the world and realizing that you are the deeper you are the deeper mission, you are the deeper union, because you are the relationship with the divine itself, which is also the place where the twin flame is. And these debts only play a role between the personality, self, and the world in that old story that is of no value anymore. So you can clear that to the degree that you see that it was an illusion world, that was not the real thing. And now you can start the real thing that really makes come true your true heart's desires. Yeah, I want that for you. So may this be inspirational for you, and I hope this helps. And did you know that you can learn more about Twin Flame Mission and what that personally is for you in the upcoming Mission Weekend in 2024, the first weekend of July? And I have a link in the description box below and in the pinned comment as well that lead you to this online workshop, how it works, when it is and stuff, and also buy your ticket. So it would be lovely to welcome you there, and we can talk more about what this is for you. I'd love that for you. And you know, if you came until here in the video, in your acknowledger reading, I would love to know that it was you that came until here. And can you for me place a blue heart as a comment below in the comment field? And I know that it was you, that was this acknowledger that goes deeper with the true heart of union and mission. Beautiful. Yeah. I'd love to learn more together with you in the near future. And I also invite you, of course, to see me again in the next video. See you there. Love from Petra. Welcome, Coach, to your reading about mission. How can mission support your union coming together? And we start with these cards, awesome cards, the Golden Tarot, and I have more Oracle cards over here that we're going to have a look into for you about what kind of message there is for your ability to connect with mission, which is like the energy blueprint of what kind of love your union is spreading to the world. That will also be something that'll be returning back to you, right? because people like to support that, but like receive that and then support you in return. And that's how this mission is a little economy on its own. It's a soul economy on the union level. It's the me economy. That's why I speak of me economy. So we're getting some cards here, the ones that I see, and I already have 2. I'm going to ask for 3. This is number 3. And we're going to see what it might approximately say. And the first card is the 7 of Wands, which traditionally stands for someone that is defending its vision, his vision. And here below the picture, you cannot see them, stand people with holding their wand up against this man. And he tries to defend himself, his position, which is a powerful position, but maybe also not necessary to defend yourself. Seems a little tiring, because you are already what you are. Your mission is already what it is. And even if the entire world is resistant to your message that is in your mission, in your union, that doesn't matter, because you're still that. You're still exuding that love. It doesn't matter if everyone is against it. And there will always be people who it is for. Don't worry. But there are also many people who it's not for. 3 of Swords, and that's up to them, you know. This is the other card, second card that I got for you. The Swords are thoughts. And this is a card full of sadness. Maybe painful thoughts, painful words as well is what it means. And your heart is crying. Your heart is broken. And the third card for you is the Devil, which merely means that you feel imprisoned by something. You feel held back by something. You feel like you cannot express your true, authentic self freely and openly and in positivity and in the daylight. There's something that holds that back. This devil has like this belly creature in his belly. Interesting, right? Inferno. Yeah, it's really, he's really dancing on top of the people that are burning in hell with his bird claws. Very interesting. And the man and woman at the foreground are a little bit sort of like Adam and Eve kind of people. Your quintessential twin flame union, right? But feeling held back, feeling like you're imprisoned. You're bound. That's really what it is. You feel bound by your existence on Earth. Maybe you've forgotten a little bit that you are actually a free soul, connected to the divine. Always free there. Always loving there. And when you forget that and you only look at your physical life and your physical results and your physical friends and your physical need for a partner and your physical house that you want to have a mortgage for with your partner, and it needs to be your twin flame because you want a partner, because you want a mortgage, because you need to, I don't know, make your money work and whatnot. If you are very much only into that kind of thing, you lose the essence of what all these mortgages and houses and partnerships are truly about. And even if you make come true this full union life with your true twin flame, living your mission as well, with all the things, the money and the health and the family and the children and making love and building a home and all these things and holidays and business moves. And then you still live that. I mean, with the true twin flame, that is where we were supposed to live with our twin flame. And this is, I do represent a pathway that leads there. Absolutely, 100%. But then at the same time, I mean, it's so true that we can forget that it is playing itself out in the flesh, on the world, in the heavenly world, in harmonious union, the consciousness state. So that's fully true. But if you accept that that is fully true, then you can also, a little bit upside down perhaps, but still realize that it's only that, and it's still only that, and still can only keep on being there like that because it is connected into the soul, and the soul is connected into source. And that's your divine creator. And that is actually the life that you live. Fully expressing in the world, in the flesh, in the material world. But the actual relationship that you're living is the internal relationship between you and the divine creator. And when you live into that physical world and you forget that, then you start to go in the wrong direction again. And you start to feel bound again. And you start to feel like you're losing it again. And that can be the very subtle beginning of losing it again. And you still can turn around, but that happened to me. That I was at a certain point after harmonious union, and then this huge healing wave came into my life. Healing my childhood trauma, healing my body, my health, definitively. My childhood trauma also definitively. It was not that I earlier on didn't work on it and had very awesome healings and whatnot, but this was like definitively and to the depth of twin flame union. And to the degree of it not leaving any traces anymore. That went through me and it was amazing. And the result was so good. You cannot imagine. I felt so good. I started to feel so good. After a couple of years of continually working, don't get me wrong, continually having worked on that, I started to feel so good. And I was so happy and satisfied with this health and the physical expressions that started to now come out of me with my new found sense of dressing and the new secondhand clothes I was buying and the new makeup I was trying out. After all these years of crying in my bed, in my sick bed, and it felt so good. I felt like I had never truly been allowed as a child to start to learn to express myself with clothes and whatnot. Although people might not say that when they look at my development as a child and a teenager and 20-something person and whatnot. They might not see that at all. They thought that I was already artistic and whatnot. And in a sense I was. But in another sense I never truly developed from this newly found true authentic core that was truly healed. And that was the development that I came in now. And now I started to truly feel good in that one. I started to truly express in clothes and in colors from that one and in makeup from that one. And I started to feel so good about that, 1.5 years in trying out some new clothes and makeup and feeling physically so much better. I was so incredibly fully absorbed in this experience of, wow, I'm allowed to have enough clothes and comfortable underwear and fitting shoes, everything was fitting, and the colors were getting better and better, and it was such a luxurious feeling of, wow, this is just, I never experienced allowing myself to be buying like real clothes, like they really fit me and the color was really right, and it's not strange clothes for performances, but it's actual clothes for dressing now on a day-to-day basis and being happy with that, making myself happy with it. I started to feel so good. So to sort of try to make the point of this anecdote, here it comes. At a certain point, I realized that I was gone too far now into the material world, and I felt bound again. Because I started to forget that it only ever was about my relationship with the divine. And that was what I was happy about. And I started to be happy about the clothes and stuff, I was like, oh, right. I woke up like, oh, so this is also when it can go too far. And it is still always only about living with God. And you don't need to be like perfect in a form for that, but it is the relationship that feels perfect. And that's where I found it again. And these are sad things, by the way. So, because maybe you are in such a story, more going towards, I need to defend myself. I need to be perfect. I need to show the world. And then you forget that it's only ever about your relationship with the divine. And that's really it. And it does produce all these wonderful experiences in the flesh, including union with your true twin flame and all the lovemaking and romance, including the mission in shape and with other people that want to receive from you and send you abundance back in return. So it is only about that inner communication between you and the divine. That's where it takes place. And even when you're in the biggest success of the world, when this all has worked on you over and over and over again, deeper and deeper and deeper, and it starts to become such a thing that you connect with your heart, with the core of that mission energy in your union, and it starts to heal yourself, heal your union, and then also move further out into the world and people start to receive from you there. Even then, it is still always about your relationship with the divine itself. And if you forget that, you will feel bound again, nevertheless. But you will wake up from that dream. Especially when you're in relationship with a community and a true teacher, they will wake you up from that. That's the whole point of it. Yeah. So let's look into the Dragon Fae cards, the energies of the dragons on the earth, which is very much a Kundalini-based energy of the earth. And this Dragon Fae is the dragon phase of rebirth, becoming whole again. Well, I think that's what we talk about. Your mission is a product of becoming whole again. And this is also why we will soon start up again the year course. It's a group course, and it's called Your Abundance, and it approaches this becoming whole in every aspect that your daily life really is. In your sexuality, in your creativity, in your business, in your authorship, in your meditation, in your healing, in co-creation, in coaching, in your senses, in your communication, in your artistic life, and more. And that approaches this union level in all these life aspects. 360 degrees all round. 360 degrees all round. And anyway. So that you go to the union atmosphere in all these fields. And become whole there again. Becoming whole through all these approaches. Yeah. And that is also where the union is. And that is also where mission is. Mission is found in that wholeness. But you can be sure that you are already that in truth. It's just a matter of taking away what it is not. All right. Well, I started to shuffle the life purpose cards, and this immediately turned over, so then we need to play it. Author, writing of a book. Well, maybe you don't feel like an author and you don't feel like writing a book. Can be. I'm an author, but you may not be. But still, you're the author together with God of this becoming whole journey. In which it is very helpful to start to journal about what you go through. Start doing that now. Because what you journal can be food to put into the central twin flame healing tool that I teach, the key tool. We have 2 versions. You can come to our Facebook community to learn more about it. The link to come there is in the description box below and in the pinned comment too. Because we have like events there and downloads there, posts about it, videos. This key tool is based on your journaling. That can be so helpful because you need to get clear in words, in clarity, what's going on inside of you. And then you can distill, this is a point that I want to take out of my journal and do deeper inner work on. Because not even feeling your feelings and truly processing it is truly enough for twin flame inner work. Twin flame inner work is more than that. It is having a turnaround in itself as well. Turning the emotions around towards the subtle, deeper feelings that are creative soul qualities that you already own. Is one way of this turnaround that it is about. And yeah, that would be very helpful to go to the core of everything, to go to mission, to union. Give advice. That might be something having to do with your life purpose, with your mission, in other words, your twin flame mission. You heal with kind words, wise advice, and a receptive ear. Such a cute picture. When you go through movements like this, when you go through movements like letting go of the bondage and go towards a place where you're free in spirit. And having revealed to you there what this becoming whole is, where the mission bubbles up and where union lives. When you've gone through these movements, you will get, through your experiences, a lot of wisdom that other people also need on their journeys. So when you make come true this whole journey, you are able to help others as well. And that will be the content of what you're going to share. Kind of logic, but very essential. Let's see what the Divine Abundance cards have to say here. Divine abundance is what they say. Duh! You were born to align with love's will, follow the Tao, and serve something beyond the ego. Learn to be abundance, not chase it. Well, isn't that exactly what we've been talking about? So when you are whole, you share wholeness. But we talk about this wholeness on the spiritual level, the union level. That is truly a thing. It's not an idea. It's not an, oh, let me pronounce that I'm healed or whole. Because it sounds good. But you are not that. That's not how that works. Then there will be a break between what you say and what you are. And that will never lead to true or lasting abundance. And what you will pass on is to be inauthentic to that depth of layer. No matter if you teach, be authentic, be authentic. Change. When the ego finally sees the utter madness of trying to control everything, you come to a sacred crossroads in your own evolution. Well, let the cards do the talking. Let's get another one. I like it. This one. Awakening. O my Lord, wake me from life as a spiritual sheep. May I hear you through my own instincts and common sense. Awakening. And let's see if we can translate this into something very concrete. Maybe two then, okay, from the abundance angels. Bountiful nature. Spending time in nature helps shift you to a higher vibration and reminds you of God's infinite abundance. Go outside and enjoy a walk or hike with your pet, meditate beneath a tree, garden, sit under the stars, or do some other activity to connect with the limitless vastness. Also an awesome idea to connect deeper with what this mission really is, organically. Not as something that you have to come up with intellectually. Sever vows of poverty. Dear one, there's no need to suffer or sacrifice. Hold the intention of undoing any vows of poverty or self-denial that you may have made, consciously or unconsciously in any lifetime. As you do so, all effects of these vows will be undone for everyone involved in all directions of time. Good idea, so that we are freed again from these bonds. This is an awesome idea. Oops, I just feel like getting another one of this card deck for you. Oh, we're just letting the card speak here. Face your financial fears. When you were honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, and you'll realize that you, in fact, have nothing to fear, and that every successful person has struggled with and released these self-doubts. Yeah. You're not in a need to be bound to these self-doubts. You don't owe anyone the destruction of your self-confidence, but you have to learn to let your self-confidence come from your deeper organic nature. So it really seems that there is a big invitation in your coach group reading to be assertive. Here's the angel answer deck. To be assertive, to get into your healing, get into your sinking into the divine space kind of need that you have, and answer that question so that it will come up. But naturally, this mission is, it's natural, connected to the soul, natural, kind of natural. You don't need to fight for it or defend it. You might go there by going through the heartbreak of what did not work, by letting go of the bonds that hold you back from simply falling into what you already are in the light of your divine union. Okay. Take action. Well, isn't that the same? We just had be assertive. Take action on this wholeness request coming from inside of you, not from the world, but from inside of you, and that will lead to success. And the improving of your health in all directions and in all ways. And this is how you can start to build trust. That is really the core of it, is what I feel. Start to build trust with the invisible core of yourself. And when you can do that and have done that, you will become the example for how to do that for other people, and that is already a mission. And that also comes together with the idea of the coach, which is your group's name. So I hope this helps, and I hope that you will gain a lot of trust from actively answering the call to let go. And actively make space for this process of surrender. Yeah. Beautiful. So if you came until here in this group coach reading, can you please answer me that you are that coach that listened to all of this? by giving me a green heart in the comment field below so that I know that it is you that listened to this reading. Beautiful, thank you. Remember that we do have a mission weekend coming up in 2024, the first weekend of July. There is a link to learn more about it and to buy your ticket in the description box below and in the pinned comment. Click it, read it, and get your ticket. And of course, I will see you also in our next meeting in another video. I'm looking forward to that. So let's meet again. Love from Petra.